What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Eddie's World of Figures. So, you might have noticed a bunch of boxes on the table, and you're like, "Yo, what the heck is that?" If you're not familiar with these boxes go to, but further explain, these go to Beast Deities, pretty much, aka the now anime mythos. And when they do figures, oh boy, do they like their boxes! But they gotta do these boxes because they don't want no copyright issues, which is understandable. They gotta put them all these, you know, really nice intricate boxes you see here. But anyhow, so pretty much these boxes here are for a Goku Black figure they did a long time ago. This Goku Black was based off the Super Dragon Ball Heroes little anime that was based off their mobile game they've had for a while. It's been controversy with that for quite some time, but pretty cool characters come out of that. But I feel like you guys are gonna like this. I've had it, just in the bottom of my cabinet collecting dust. I'm like, I gotta review this. But without further ado, let's get the rest of the stuff out of these boxes and let me show you guys what all this comes with. Okay, so I have everything laid out for you guys here. I have the accessories on the left, hair scopes out here, the bodies themselves, face plates, and the hand accessories. So what I want to do now is just carefully explain further, like what's what, right? Because Beast Deities at the time, even though they still do that to this day with under their new name, but Beast Deities back then they had four different variants of this same Goku. They had 31, 32, 33, and 34. I happen to own 31 and then 34. So what's the difference here? So 31, it came with this body here, you guys see, and the Super Saiyan 3 hair scope, and these face plates that you guys see here. It's got the broken mask and all that here, and these hand accessories, including this alligator head and the paws and stuff like that. Even though, I mean, this is throwaway stuff here. They don't really care. Mine just happen to come with two left paws for some reason. They normally come with a left and a right paw, but who's using that? Anyhow, 34 came with this shirtless body because he pretty much blew it off because he's powering up so much. This is pretty much like his enraged form. So it's got this purple hue to it. It came with this translucent Super Saiyan 3 hair and these face plates here and these hand accessories here. Now, in the middle, 32 was pretty much the exact same thing as the Super Saiyan 3 setup, except it just came with the Super Saiyan hair and the Super Saiyan 2 hairbang here. Now, how did I get this without having that 32? Eventually, Beast Deities pretty much released just the hairpiece, and I got this for like $20. I remember when they was selling it. I guess they were selling like leftover parts and stuff like that, which is cool. I was like, yeah, I can pretty much use all this stuff. And one thing I want to point out, all this stuff you guys see on the table, like it works with each body. Like it's interchangeable. And that's what's so awesome about this whole thing. This hands down has to be like the best figures I have. I say figures, but I'm pretty much like this whole set here. This has got to be like the best set I have in my collection because everything's interchangeable. Everything works with itself. I like that. But anyhow, back on track here. This box over here on the left that has the scythe, and the key blade with it. This was a accessory kit that they sold later on, which was this white box here. That's this 3D learning scope kit. Yeah, you're learning. You're learning all right.
Yeah, boy.
But it came with the base head, um, some hands to hold the scythe, pretty much like the hands to pretty much like symbolize like he's making the scythe attack. It's pretty cool, and this cue ball, pretty cool. I paid $35. I think it was like $40 after tax and shipping at the time. Now I will say this right now, guys. This stuff is really hard to get nowadays for a decent price. Now I paid for each set, 31 and 34. I paid about $70 a piece at the time after shipping and tax. Again, even adding in the set over here for 40, um, you're going to be spending $150 to $200 for each pretty much set here. I think this is last I checked, this was going for about $70 to $100. So everything is on this table has gotten pretty pricey. It's absurd, but really good figure. But anyhow, I just wanted to clarify, what's going on here with the different stuff that Beast Deities have at the time, and like what do I have in my collection. But yeah, pretty nice. You have a lot here. You have a lot. A lot of things, like I mentioned before, a lot of things are interchangeable. But right now, it's enough of that. I want to get into getting this stuff out and like actually showing you guys the details of everything real quick and like the nitty gritty. So let me get everything out and I'll get everything set up for you guys so you can see all that. Okay, guys, back once again. So I just want to go over the details of these figures real quick. So again, this isn't like your normal Goku Black, as you guys know of. This is again the one that's based off Super Dragon Ball Heroes, that mobile game that had like a little small anime advertisement they would do, like little episodes and stuff like that. But the details in this figure is so good. It's like Goku Black took some time, trained, and freaking got super jacked. Now, I do like the gi that they chose in the show and the way it's implemented in this figure. The gi is soft plastic. Now, I've been really careful with mine over these, pretty much over the years, I would say. I've had this guy for since early 2024. It's almost been 2 years. It's almost been 2 years. I remember people complain about when you're doing like the ab crunch stuff like that. The strap here had a tendency to eventually break. I haven't had that problem, thankfully, but I already knew of that problem, so I was already very careful about this. So I haven't tried to overextend anything like that. Now I will say the app crunch and stuff like that is you can do it, but do it at your own risk if you do have this figure or plan on getting this figure and spending the money. But as far as like paint application and stuff like that, really good. Everything's really clean. Everything feels real nice. And this guy doesn't feel cheap at all, even though he's a third party figure. It like I will say like third party companies like this have definitely gone up in quality where they're definitely comparable to the real deal as in SS Figure Arts. And sometimes some of these figures have been even better. Where SS Figures I feel like have been like, you know what, we gotta step our game up and implement some changes here. But as you guys can see, there's no paint. Let me get my words out here. Jeez, there's no paint bleeding or anything like that. Um, Everything's really nice. The shading and stuff like that. Well, it's not even any shading, but the purple and stuff like that's real clean. I do have a little nick here. I guess that's from either myself or that's probably always been there. But other than that, not too bad. Not too bad, especially this being a third party one. Even the shoes, real good, real clean. The way the face sculpts all, and this came in the kit, by the way. It came in that little side kit I was complaining earlier. So this base head, really nice. Got the full mask on there, like he first shows up in the show, well, game anime show. But all that's real nice. It's real nice. Same thing for the Super Saiyan 3 variant over here. It's pretty much got the exact same styling into it. You guys can see this sun coming in is really nice. Look how it hits the hair. This is what I wanted. This hair. I wanted options. I love that so much. Look at that. It's freaking illuminating now. But yeah, look at the face sculpts. Like the way that Prince is, real nice.
Nice.
And also another thing I like, you can take these little plates off here. Get this one off, and you can interchange these with the other plates. Now, so a lot of face plates that come in this kit, no, the exact same. So it's like, why would you change it? But there is one that's actually really nice that you can change with the different other face sculpts and stuff like that, and get some extra variation. Put this back on, and you guys see they did think about all that. There's little holes where it slots in, so it's not definitely not something you want to go without putting the faceplate back on. A little plate here. And all this is nice. All this is soft rubber, things like that. And this one doesn't suffer from the limitations of this one over here because of the top gi. It's nice tail detail. All nice stuff. All nice. All right. Let's get into articulation, which you guys probably been waiting for. All right, let's see how good these guys move around. Okay, so let me put this one down, and let's start with the base Goku Black. And let's see, he can do a full T pose here. Well, actually, he can, but can't. He can because he is sculpted to do so, but because of the top gi here, it is obstructing that movement just a tad. Like it'll go up there if you force it, which I wouldn't advise, but it's possible. But he does have that range. Does do a full 360 in the arm rotation. Same thing on the right arm. Like I mentioned before, he does have some ab crunch, but you're at risk of tearing apart the upper gi because it is soft rubber. So you can do it, but do be mindful of that. Be careful. Like I've been over these past almost 2 years. This guy in my collection. Can he do a full splits? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Now, I will admit, okay, I love this leg design. I love the way this is. Like it's rounded off, goes into the legs really good, and you have freaking excellent mobility. What I don't like, and I'm going off track here, and I'll quickly go back around. What I don't like, and this is my opinion, everyone's in love with the new Goku. I like the new Goku, but at the same time, I don't like the design they took in the legs and the gap that's happening and stuff like that. That's just so weird to me. And I get everyone's going to accept that, but it's like we already had like ways of doing the legs a lot better to get that full range of motion and make it look a lot cleaner. It's just weird. It's a weird choice they did there. But anyhow, back on this. These knees do have a double knee joint, and his calf does go all the way to the back of his thigh. Same thing on the right leg here. Upper thigh does have a full rotation. Same thing on the left leg here. Nice and smooth, by the way. Nice and smooth. Now on the feet, definitely a problem. They could have sculpted this a lot better. There's barely any foot movement up and down, as you guys can see. And that's all. That was definitely a complaint at the time. Like why you guys didn't sculpt better range of motion for the feet. It was just weird. Really good toe articulation here. Does swivel up. Back up to the arm. Forearm does go all the way to the bicep with his double joint. Really nice and smooth. Does have some really good bicep rotation. Same thing on the right arm. And what's cool about Beast Deities, they model, and it's a little tight. Okay, guys, just had a freaking oh shit moment for sure. I broke my freaking wrist peg on this bad boy. Now, Beast Deities and their current name, Anime Mythos, they've always had a problem with their wrist pegs, or pretty much their pegs breaking. I think it's just the quality of plastic they use. But after me having this guy for so long, and it's my fault, and was freaking, as you guys saw earlier, was freaking tugging on the freaking fist, and I felt tension, and didn't give up, and then freaking ended up breaking it right off. But luckily, I have some extra wrist pegs, in my own little stash. And if you do end up breaking your wrist pegs on your Beast Deities or um, your now anime mythos figures and stuff like that, you can either 3D print your own, or you can do what I did and just use like this. This is another third party wrist peg that I had that came with pretty much like a yard rat kit that I bought a while ago. But you can use just like a regular SS Fig Arts like Dragon Ball wrist peg to put in here, and it'll work just fine. It'll be just a little bit shorter, as you guys see, but hey, it works because I was about to be like, oh, okay, video's over. And this guy is freaking expensive, and trying to get parts for this dude, yeah, it's like, good luck, Eddie. But all right, let me put this back on. It almost took me out. Let me not break this one. Let me put this back on off camera real quick. So what I wanted to show was pretty much the different hands. I'm not even going to touch this freaking fist over here. And what I know, I think it's just, again, the quality of plastic, especially this black plastic. The fist itself is pretty tight, and I had to put it in like a little bit of hot water, let it warm up and soften it a little bit, just to put it back onto the peg without breaking the new one. But I just want to go through the different wrist pegs. So I'm going to do the left hand instead and just show you guys on this body. I'm gonna eventually go over to the next one. That scared the crap out of me. But yeah, it is smooth. I mean, I break this one too. I really am like straight up saying like, yeah, it's pretty smooth. I don't know what the heck that was. I probably just pulled in too hard. Again, I've had this figure for quite some time, and I've never had that problem, honestly. So I knew to be careful. I just overdid it. Overdid it for the video. You guys see here, pretty cool. The quality of plastics, although some of it can be hard, like, and of course you can get around that by putting some hot water, but plastic's pretty good. Look at there. But what I was showing was just the Rick's peg system here. It's very similar to SS Fig Arts, and why you can, swap these out pretty good. Ooh, that threw me off, guys. That threw me off a little bit. Scared me. But yeah. We'll put this guy's back on. And we're gonna move over to this guy over here. Finally. Alright. Can he do a T pose? Yes, he can, because he does not have the upper gi obstructing his shoulders or anything like that. So he can do a full T pose. You guys see here? Has really nice ab crunch here. The hair does articulate. You guys can see. It does rotate in a full 360, and it's on a ball joint swivel too as well. Now, while I'm doing this, I will tell you guys, be careful with the hair scope as well. The pegs were prone to breaking as well. Mine, I just used a little bit of lube, the super lube here, to pretty much lube up, a lot of the tight joints, stuff like that, so it wouldn't break. But yeah, it has pretty much 2 points of articulation here. You guys can see. Pretty nice, they thought of that. Looking up, not the best, but it's there. And I will say this guy pretty much has the same range of motion as the base Goku Black that I showed off before. Same elbow system, just different color scheme, and his upper torso, it's bare chest, same legs, even with the gi being blown off. Still has that full T-pose, not say T-pose, full splits here. Same thing for the knees. Calf goes all the way to the back of the thigh. Same thing for the left leg here. Oh, right leg, excuse me. Goes all the way back. Now it does suffer from the same problems as the other Goku Black. Ankle range non-existent. Now, although the tail, it's pretty much a static tail, it does have some bit of rotation, the 360, so you can get some rotation. It does go a little bit up and down. I wouldn't push it too much. Let's see here. Yeah, it's on the ball joint too, so it does have a little bit of swivel. Now, neck joint, just a ball bell joint here. Same thing for the other Goku Black. Show that too. Little head scope. I'm gonna keep this head scope off, and we'll swap those around in a second here. Want to show you guys that. Now the neck scope is a little tight. The neck joint is a little tight, but you do have some decent range of motion there. This back on. You know what? While I'm doing that, just to show you guys that everything is interchangeable, so you can do a lot of different stuff with a lot of all this stuff. It's all this stuff I'm saying. Like, I'm just early incident. It really got me messed up right now. we're gonna push on. Push on. All right. Yeah, just show you guys. A lot of stuff is very much so interchangeable. Doesn't obstruct any articulation, anything like that. Real nice. And this one has some really good butterfly swivel. The other Goku does have some butterfly joints in it too, but it does get obstructed by the upper gi. But articulation for this guy is really good. Beast Deities has some really good articulating figures. Again, just be careful about the joints and stuff like that, especially the wrist joints or even like the leg joint here, the foot joint. I mean, so just be careful. But all right, what I want to do now that we've gone through the articulation, I do want to carefully go through the accessories and show that off a little bit better, especially all the different head sculpts and stuff like that. So let me get all that set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, pretty much got all the accessories out here for these figures. So the little kit, this one here, came with the scythe, the keyblade, and the effect that pretty much simulates him creating the keyblade in his hands. And this key ball comes with the additional hands and everything I showed earlier to hold the scythe and everything. It's so awesome. Now all this is separate. I will do my best to see if I can find the links and everything so you guys can find it. Probably be nothing but eBay, but I will do my best. These guys are quite expensive now. Especially I gave myself a freaking heart attack breaking that wrist peg earlier. But hey, I actually care. But anyhow, it's enough of the kit. Like I love how translucent it is. Like the quality of plastic is really nice. Like this is a soft plastic. Keyboard is all nice too because it actually goes on like the pointy finger here. Has like a little hole. Let's see, it's hard to see in the camera. But it's a little hole in it. They've molded into it, and you just peg that onto his finger, and it's like he's blasting key at you. Pretty cool. And I'm holding this guy up so he doesn't fall over anything. You know what? Ease him down so I can show you guys better. So the key effect here comes, let's say comes, but you can use the karate chop hand pretty much to insert into the effect, slides in that way, and then it has a peg on the hand and it slots into the key effect. I'm going to show that off real quick. And this is the Super Saiyan 2 head scope, and I just wanted to also show you guys that, you can interchange the face plates, the hair sculpts. Like, you guys can pretty much create whatever you want with these figures when you have all these different accessories, all these different stuff. Like, I think this is why these figures were so sought after. Just so much that came with them for the price at the time. Again, these are like $70 a piece. The accessory kit, was additional 40, but you couldn't beat that at the time. But yeah, let me go in and take these down, and now I just want to get into like my final thoughts. You know, what am I thinking about these figures? I gave myself a stroke earlier. So my final take on these figures, I say get them. Like I would give these a solid 9 out of 10. The only reason they're not a solid 10 out of 10 is because the risk of just simply breakage. These figures are hard to get. They cost a lot, and then if you do break something, you're gonna have a trouble trying to fix it or replace it. So other than that, the articulation is immaculate. The hair scopes, face plates, the details, the way this whole setup was like pretty much sculpted is amazing. It sucks that they haven't reproduced this yet. Maybe they will in the future. I like how a lot of the parts are interchangeable. I feel like almost all the parts, I mean, all of them are really interchangeable. From the, the hand pieces, the hair scopes, the face plates, all of it. Even the kit that came for the base Goku, like his head scope, you can put it on the shirtless body. Like it's all interchangeable. So I can pretty much make Super Saiyan, pretty much Super Saiyan Rose, Super Saiyan Rose 2, you might as well call it, Super Saiyan Rose 3, and then you have, extra, a bonus over here with the translucent one, it's enraged, so it's like got that effect, especially the light hitting it, it just illuminates, like you just see power. But especially elegance in it. You see there with the pink and purple and stuff like that. It's just really beautiful. Got the scythe. If you're able to get all this stuff, I say go for it. Just be mindful of the little issues and stuff you do have this year collection. Just like I say about any other figure, if it's within your budget, you know, do it. I say do it. Regardless of price or not, if you save your money up, you can do it. Screw it. I say screw it. Yeah, I paid $70 a piece for this. I'll say it again. The kit was 40. This stuff is going for 150 pre-owned, all the way up to 200 sometimes. I've even seen a listing, and this is eBay. You can probably find this somewhere else, a different site, anything like that. And I'll do my best to put some links what I find in the video too, in the description. But I've seen brand new. This freaking these figures have been going for even 250, which is insane, insane. But they were sold out there at the time. They were selling out pretty quick. Especially this base body with the Super Saiyan hair scope that came with Super Saiyan 2. It was pretty much gone. Like I got lucky myself and got the pre-order in and just got them. Like this one came a little later. There was some extra batches on 5K Toys. Saw that, I was like, I gotta get this guy. Screw it, gotta get him. But I'm happy. I'm happy with my purchase. Happy with my purchase. I'm glad I was able to fix that wrist peg. That shook me up. I noticed the video. That shook me up a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this review, guys. This guy, the cabinet for you guys. Get all the accessories out, the boxes. I had to find all that stuff. I got stuff in totes. Anyhow, thank you if you watched all the way to the end of the video. Like always, comment in the video what you think about these figures. Do you have them yourself, and have you encountered any of these problems that I encountered? You guys saw. Let me know. I like you guys are engaging in the videos. Showing me that you also care. The things that you have in your collection, which you plan on getting yourself. But other than that, that's all I got for that, guys. Until next time, I'll see you then.